Hello everyone and welcome into the studios of WJHI at Jeffersonville High School. Today we are here for the second episode of Wonder Woman, where we highlight strong and successful women in business in our local community. And today we are welcoming in Michelle Diaz. How are you today, Michelle Diaz?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So we're just going to talk a little bit about yourself today and how you are in our community and your career. So let's start off and you tell me a little bit about yourself. When you were a child, what did you want to do most as your favorite career?
So when I was a child, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I just saw myself doing mission work around the world, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that. I just knew that I had a passion for that. So I just knew I was going to be an entrepreneur.
So going on that entrepreneur, I definitely know you're in business a lot now, so what do you do now?
Now I own Jeff City Mix with my husband, which is a healthy nutrition club that sells healthy, delicious drinks such as smoothies and energy drinks and protein donuts as a way to really provide healthy options to the community.
And they're all delicious. So what exactly gave you the inspiration into going in and making this amazing business?
So I actually started when the pandemic happened. My husband was currently a personal trainer at Torrance Fit Body Boot Camp, and I was working for the chamber at our city. And with the stay-at-home order and with a lot of businesses needing to close down, his job primarily, being a personal trainer at a gym, his gym had to close down. So as a way for us to make supplemental income and really try to, pay our bills and make sure we didn't fall behind, we started to sell our smoothies and energy teas and protein donuts from our own kitchen back in California. And we were just selling them out to the community. We were having people order on their social media. That's the way that they contacted us, and it blew up. A lot of people were ordering. We were delivering to their houses. The community loved what we were serving, especially since they were looking for healthy options at that time. It became such a success. And so that's what gave us the idea of what if we were to really open up a storefront for this? And we tried to do it in Southern California, but we soon quickly found out that it was a little bit tough there just because it's too expensive. The rent was just too high. And as much as we wanted to stay there because we built our community there, we knew we had their support, we did have to try to look elsewhere where the rent wouldn't be so high and it would be actually a business that would be successful and making profits and not just breaking even. And we have a friend here in Kentucky, and she has some of the nutrition clubs in Kentucky, and they were being so successful that she just, asked us, what if you guys were to move to Indiana, where a lot of my customers are telling me to expand? And she's only one person, so she couldn't really expand to Southern Indiana. So my husband and I, prayed a lot about it. We came to visit to see if it's a place that we would want to live at. And after a lot of prayer and a lot of getting counsel from our pastors and close friends over there in California, we decided to make the move. And we officially moved to Jeffersonville, Indiana, May of 2021. And then we found where currently Jeff City Mix is at. We signed the lease for that spot on May 17th, which is, oh my gosh, is that today? Oh, a year ago. So we signed the lease for that, and then we started build out. And our goal was that we wanted to come to a community to be able to give back. Especially us being new and people not knowing us, we wanted to make sure that we got involved in the community so people could get to know us, get to know our mission, get to know what we were about and how we wanted to provide healthier options to this community. And also, as the Lord blesses our business, be able to give back to them. So we just started to do deliveries and sampling at schools and offices and at any different events as soon as we got here before we opened.
You, every single time that I come into your store, you are always like beaming with joy, and you are so happy, and you look like you enjoy what you do so much.
Yeah.
So can you go in depth of what you feel is the difference between a job and a career? Because I know that's a big difference. So I want to get your point on it.
Yes. So obviously I've had a lot of jobs. I am 35, right? And I started working when I was 18. And so the difference that I can say is that for me, at least, I can speak on, my opinion is when I had a job, I would just clock in and clock out, and I would do my work, right? So I wouldn't get in trouble by my boss, but there wasn't ambition, it's like I really didn't, there wasn't so much growth in the jobs that I had or the ability for me to be creative and be my own person, right? Mm-hmm. Like, as you can tell, I'm super bubbly. I'm so outgoing. I love people. And sometimes in a professional setting, my boss would be like, okay, you need to calm it down. And I was like, well, okay, let me, try to be serious, but I'm not that serious type of person, right? So with this career, like, I always had a passion for health and fitness. I was overweight when I was young. So when I learned the importance of nutrition and fitness and living that lifestyle, I became passionate about it. And so when we were able, my husband is also very passionate, as I mentioned, he was a personal trainer, and he still is, right? But he's also into health and fitness, and that's one of the common things that we have together. When we were able to really, instead of the pandemic bringing us down, but use it as an opportunity to develop our passion and provide the community with healthier options, it became so much fun, but also we now knew we were providing value. We were doing something that we loved, and we wanted to help others with any goals that they had in terms of health and fitness as well. And so now, being a business owner and owning our own business, it's not like we're clocking in and clocking out. It's like who we are. And we don't mind putting in late hours because we know that what we're doing is helping others, as I mentioned, and our goal is not just to have one, nutrition club here. Our goal is to have several within Southern Indiana and beyond. You never know, we might go back to California and start one up there once we have enough money to do that. Mm-hmm. But our goal is to make such a positive impact in the community with health and fitness that because we're passionate about it, we can just do it every single day, at every moment, instead of a job where I clock in, clock out, and I'm done, and I don't want anything to do with it until the next day I go into work. This one, we can go home and still talk about our business and how we can get better and how we can provide better customer service and better more tasty drinks and stuff like that. Yeah.
You definitely seem to enjoy your job, and you have such a great social media presence, and you seem to outreach to everyone you can in our community. And I was just wondering, what is your favorite memories you've made so far being a part of our community for less than a year?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Honestly, we love giving back to the high school. It's you guys, and it's so funny. Yesterday I get also emotional. I was crying because there's a set of the seniors that come after school, and we know when it's school is out because they're there, and we just love being able to develop those friendships with you guys, and we love that you guys like to come hang out and stay there for a while and ask us how we make our drinks and even try to make our drinks and help us out. That honestly means the world to us when we get the high schoolers to come and just want to be there around us. I personally was a youth leader at my church back in California, so I naturally have such a love for the high schoolers because I was a youth leader for the high schoolers. And so just being able to be at my workplace but know that I can still in a way minister to the young just really fills up my heart. So that's one of my favorite things about what we do is that we're right across from you guys, and we get to develop authentic, awesome relationships where my husband and I just pray that we continue to be a good influence in all of your lives.
You are definitely a very bright person, and everybody that goes to your store always talks about how happy they are to see you. And you definitely try and make everybody smile when you come in, and you always go out to the community. I was just wondering, what is your most favorite thing that you have learned to be a part of our community? Like, how do you feel about being a part of our community, and what has helped you most to be a part of this community from moving from California?
First of all, I feel all of you have been so welcoming. You know, I know how it is when you first are you're the new person in school or at work or in a community, you kind of feel left out. But my husband and I from the beginning, and that's how we knew that this is where the Lord wanted us, because immediately from the community we felt welcomed, we felt loved. You know, Nicole Curry, she was so awesome in helping us set up opportunities to come and sample to the schools, and before we were even open, and we had other friends that were able to help us out too in sampling to their friends, and so that meant the world to us. Because we felt super welcome, we naturally were able to just immediately want to give back, you know, give back to the high school, give back to any other school that that needed help. Or right now we're helping with, my husband and I personally are helping with the church plant, but we can also already see in the future how, as the Lord blesses our business, how we want to give back to that, you know, to God's kingdom work. So it's just in our hearts to just give back. It's like how it says, the best gift is when you bless someone else, like you truly get blessed by that. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you definitely did.
Sometimes I can ramble off and I'm like, wait, did I answer?
No, you got it. You're fine.
Okay.
You said you had some challenges such as COVID, and did you face any other roadblocks in making your journey over to Jeffersonville?
In making our journey over to Jeffersonville, I have to admit that we didn't have that major roadblocks. I feel like once we made the decision and we knew that was the right decision to come to Jeffersonville, everything fell into place. I think our major roadblocks were when we were in build out for our spot. As I mentioned, we signed the lease in May of last year, but we didn't get to open till October of 2021, and we thought we were going to have our nutrition club open in July or latest August. So I remember just being very frustrated when it kept being prolonged, because we kept telling the community it's coming in midsummer, and then we had to keep pushing it back, and I just didn't we didn't want to look like liars, you know, like, oh, we're just kidding, it's actually pushed back. But the community understood, because at that time, during this time, it is tough to get all the supplies and everything that you need to build anything right now. So people were very understanding, which put me at ease, and then also understanding that it was going to open up exactly in God's timing, and I didn't have to stress. But I did stress a little bit, because I just wanted to already be serving all of you, because there was so much anticipation for us to open our doors. So I just wanted to just deliver that service to you guys as soon as possible.
And your service is amazing. Oh. You definitely have outreach to a lot of our younger community. And I was just wondering if you had any business advice or life advice for the younger community that might want to go into a similar field or some field of business. What would you say is your strongest advice for them?
To definitely get good mentors in that field that they're interested in going into, because when you have good mentors, and that's what my husband and I had, we had good mentors who gave us step by step on what we needed to do to open Jeff City Mix up properly and have it be a success. And I would say definitely always look to somebody who is knowledgeable in that field, who has gone through it, and that will be able to give you the blueprint of from A to Z what to do until you open, and even what to do once you're open. You know, that has been a great thing for us, is being able to go back to our mentors and, you know, get their advice on things that we need their advice on, and they're able to support us and help us out.
Yes, you have definitely shown that you have the strong ability to be in our business, and you've talked a little bit about how you're going to expand in the future. So could you touch a little bit more on how you're trying to go further in your business plan and reach more people?
Yes, so we do want to expand it in southern Indiana, and so we're just looking for those who are wanting to be entrepreneurs. That's pretty much what it is. You know, in order for us to expand, there's only my husband and I, and our goal is to stick together in one location, whether it's Jeff or whether it's someone that we pass it along to take over. Jeff City Mix, we're always looking for people to be better than us in what we do. And so, yeah, just looking for those who are hungry to be entrepreneurs, who have a passion for health and fitness and wanting to be part of a community and provide that option and give back, because that's the main thing, that we just want them to also have the same values and standards that we have, to be in a community but be involved and care for the people there, not just have a business and have it be transactional. It's like one of the things that I really love about owning my business is that I can really foster those relationships with each customer that comes in and make them feel special, you know, and brighten up their day, you know, just use the gifts that God has given me to also like give to those that come into our doors. So yeah, we're looking for entrepreneurs, people who are excited to be in the field of health and fitness, who want to give back and are not, you know, scared to, you know, get to work, because it is work. But when you have a passion for it, as I mentioned before, it's fun. It's work, but it's fun. And the way that I see it, any job is going to be challenging. Like I said, I've worked in different jobs in a cubicle and also outside a cubicle, and all I can say is that every job is going to have its challenges. It's going to have it's going to be hard, especially if you're trying to grow and not just be an employee. So the way that I see it, it's like, okay, if I want to be challenged and I'm going to put in hours and I'm going to work hard, I'd rather do it for our business, you know, and have it grow for, you know, not just for our good. Like I said, we're going to use the success that we have for the way that the Lord wants us to use it. But yeah, you're going to have your challenges. I rather work for what we're passionate about. Does that make sense? Rather than just a regular job that I might not be passionate for.
You are definitely a gift into our community, and you have a very strong tie to our community, especially in your name, Jeff City Mix. Yes. And it's always been a question of mine, how did you come up with that name?
So when we were thinking about moving here, we did go to some local businesses and ask them like, hey, what do people call Jeffersonville? Like, what are you guys known for? And some people said, oh, people called Jeffersonville Jeff for short, like Jeff City, you know, and they're like, oh, okay. And then we told them our idea, and they're like, do you think that this idea and this name, like, do you think this is something that your community would like? And that was another thing. We wanted to make sure the community would be open to having, you know, us here to serve the healthy, delicious drinks that we do. And so every person that I would ask, we're like, oh my goodness, like this is what we need. Like, yes, can you bring this over here? And so we said that we were going to have our name be Jeff City, and then I just added the mix. I remember my husband told me that I was the one that added the mix. And I was like, yeah, I guess I will take credit for that. I don't remember our conversation, but he said that was my idea. So that's how it came about. We just were very interested to see what the locals would think. And then from there, they helped us mold our name, because that was very important to us, that we were going to be of value to people here. So actually, the community helped us come up with our name.
I just want to say thank you for coming in and brightening our studio and our community. And I also wanted to say thank you for spending your time with us today.
Thank you. This is an honor. I feel so honored. Thank you so much, Haley.
Thank you. And thank you from our whole entire student staff from WJHI Studios in Jeffersonville High School. This has been the second episode of Wonder Woman, and this has been a Jeff Hyde production.